Jermell Charlo apologizing to the media and to the fans, and I think that was really big of him, and I think that should be commended, and I think that should be celebrated. And plus, I'm also going to talk about the debacle with Frank Martin and Shakur Stevenson. And at the end of the day, Frank Martin can make all the excuses he want about why this fight shouldn't happen, didn't happen, and who, pulled them out of the fight. At the end of the day, it's a bad look. At the end of the day, he walked away from a very lucrative, and at the end of the day, you have to make business decisions and all this stuff about, yeah, well, I understand Derrick James and all this kind of stuff, man. I'll get to that later on. But hold on, you guys. Just a second. This surface is clean, man. Make, you represent it, you got to make sure the surface is clean. So, let me, there we go. But, nevertheless, the Spence Fun Boys continue to cry, bitch, whine, and moan about Terrence Crawford and, what's Terrence Crawford's next move going to be. Now the new notion is, oh, Terrence Crawford isn't a man of his word because he promised to fight Spence at 154, and now he's saying Spence has to fight him at 147, or there's no fight. First of all, Terrence Crawford abundantly said that the fight could, never said it was. He said it could. And if Terrence Crawford wants to fight Spence at 147, he's earned the right. See, this is what these dudes do. They sit on here, bitch, whine, and moan, and, basically run a smear campaign against Terrence Crawford. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what Terrence Crawford does. It's going to be an excuse. And like I said, a lot of this stuff towards Terrence Crawford is very suspect. You got people insisting that the man is on PEDs. You just didn't heard it all with Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford owes Errol Spence absolutely nothing. He won the fight. This was negotiated that Terrence Crawford is the A side. I bet you if Terrence Crawford had lost and said, okay, well, I don't want to go up to 154. I want to fight at 147. People would be coming on here telling Terrence Crawford he need to accept his loss, and Errol Spence is the A side. At the end of the day, these Errol Spence butt boys, they just can't accept the fact that Terrence Crawford beat the hell out of them. And the way these dudes sit up here and suck up the Errol Spence and act like the world revolves around Errol Spence, that Errol Spence gets to say, do, and make all the demands that he wants, and people supposed to just jump when Errol Spence says how high. No, Bud won the fight. He won it in dominant fashion. Like Shy News said, okay, let's really get technical. What does Terrence Crawford get out of fighting Errol Spence at 154? Nothing's on the line. If Errol Spence can't make 147, that's his damn problem. He should have been went up to 154. At the end of the day, these people, the PBC jerk Terrence Crawford around for years, play games with this dude. They tried to emasculate this dude as a fighter, as a man, calling this man all kind of name stuff, disrespecting him, talking about, his alliance with Bob Arum, and talking about he shouldn't have re-signed and all this kind of stuff, being fanagers. The funny thing is, where's all these dudes at who have these sentiments towards Bob Arum, towards Jerry Jones, who once again is tied to something suspect? Once again, Jerry Jones is tied to a racial situation. But where are these niggas at calling Jerry Jones out, making videos about Jerry Jones? Because they disappeared. Like I said, at the end of the day, a lot of them didn't say anything. They just was quiet about it. I was the one that was very vocal about the Jerry Jones thing, because at the end of the day, that's what these dudes want to do. They want to protect Errol Spence at all costs. Errol Spence got the living crap beat out of him. He got beat down. He got beat from pillar to post. So Bud is supposed to fight him at a different weight class to accommodate him. All this stuff about Bud need to be thankful. Bud don't have to thank Errol Spence for nothing. It's a fight that should have got made. And we all know people prevented this fight from happening. They didn't want this fight to happen. So, Errol Spence, every time something got tweeted by Errol Spence, they assumed that he was talking about Terrence Crawford. And now all these dudes do is sit up on here and just cry and whine like a bunch of girls who didn't get asked to the prom, or a bunch of girls, walking through the mall, doing the weekend mall rat thing. It's like 6 of them. And you know what I'm saying? It's like 5 dudes, or it's 6 of them. It's like 4 dudes, and they the one that don't get picked. And then they start hating on everybody else, or get mad at everybody else because the dudes didn't get at them. And that's what these Errol Spence fun boys is all about. They just think that the world revolves around Errol Spence. Bud don't have to fight him at 154. If he says, hey, it's going to be 147, or we moving on, that's their right. Nobody had a problem with the, hey, take it the 80%, and, take what we give you. You don't have no drawing power. You can't sell outside of Omaha, which is a lie. Everywhere Terrence Crawford has fought, he was able to at least get 12,000 people up in there. So, this is just an ongoing thing. And I just ask you dudes to stop listening to these guys. Stop letting these dudes play y'all. They don't know what they talking about. Stop letting these dudes try to act like they being fair when all of a sudden, or should I say, on the real, they just doing what they doing, being part of the PBC protection agency. Like I said, I don't owe Al Heyman nothing. I don't owe the PBC nothing, and I don't have to watch what I say. I'm not gonna sit up here and play these fake games to baby up Errol Spence, and that's what these dudes be doing, and they look stupid. Just like you had these same idiots sitting up here trying to attack Shakur Stevenson when Frank Martin was the one that pulled out of the fight. But they trying to somehow attack Shakur Stevenson for basically, turning down $8 million, which there wasn't no $8 million offer. Now, here's the thing. Shakur has a better pedigree than Frank Martin. So it was apples and oranges, like Shakur said when he was talking to Gilly the Kid. He's a Olympic silver medalist. He is a former champion and a couple of different weight classes. He has pedigree. So it's different if he asks for a different type of money with Devin Haney. But due to the fact, bro, be careful with some of these dudes, man. Like at the end of the day, some people probably was secretly rooting for Lomachenko to beat Devin Haney. Like I said, there's a lot of fake people out here, but well, people don't understand that. I'm trying to figure out, what do you think gonna be any different at 154? To me, I think Bud is trying to save and preserve what little career Errol Spence got left. Errol Spence was knocked down multiple times. Errol Spence, like I keep telling you, when Harvey Doc stopped the fight, Errol Spence was doing the stanky leg. Errol Spence was about 2 or 3 punches away from being slept. But I guess that I guess that wouldn't have been enough for them to sit up there and say that Errol Spence shouldn't fight Terrence Crawford again when he got knocked down 3 times. The man got dropped with a power jab. At the end of the day, this stuff about the PBC had the better roster, to me, seemed to be capped, because like I said, how do the PBC have the better roster when every time they cross the street or take a Uber to another another neighborhood, they get whooped on? So how do they have the better roster? I guess they ain't gonna care that they see Errol Spence getting carried out in the stretcher like Adonis Stevenson. Terrence Crawford beat that man down. Like, what more do you want to see? You want to see Errol Spence get hurt even worse? You want to see Errol Spence get hurt even worse? What fight were you guys watching? People keep saying Errol Spence won the first round. Errol Spence didn't even win the first round. He didn't win one round of that fight. He took a drumming from beginning to end. Terrence Crawford took his best shots. What part y'all don't understand? A side, even though that started with Floyd Mayweather, Errol Spence is the B side. If Terrence Crawford wants to fight him at 147, either Errol Spence could say yay or he could say nay. Where do you guys, hey, what's up? Shout out to the homie Shot News. Where did y'all, like for real, are you guys even thinking logic? You know what? I'm starting to think a lot of y'all quit school after the 5th grade. Or I believe some of y'all like left high school after the 10th. Because you're not making any kind of sense. You're not making any kind of sense. Terrence Crawford may be even stronger at 154. All it comes down to is that Terrence Crawford was the better fighter. Many people behind the scenes always knew Terrence Crawford was going to win that fight. I always knew Terrence Crawford was going to beat Errol Spence's ass. I told people. I said it behind the scenes. I told World Combat Sports. I know people saying, oh, well, you just saying it after the fact. No. Behind the scenes, you can ask anybody that know me. I always thought that Terrence Crawford was going to beat down Errol Spence. I thought the fight would be a little more competitive. I thought Terrence Crawford was going to get like a 10th or 11th round stoppage. Errol Spence won 2 or 3 rounds. But I just thought eventually Terrence Crawford was going to start breaking them down in the later rounds and Errol Spence was going to run into something. But Terrence Crawford imposed his will. He brought the fight to Errol Spence. He took Errol Spence's best shots. He won decisively. But that's what happens when you listen to a lot of these dudes, these fraudulent boxing channels. That's what happens when you listen to people like the Least Attorney and all this kind of stuff. For years, these dudes tore down Terrence Crawford. They tore him down as a man. They tore him down as a fighter and all this kind of stuff. And then at the same time, these are supposed to be people that look like us. This is supposed to be people that look like us, that we share the same melanin. And by the way, I just want to send a quick shout out to the people in Detroit, the union, the auto workers. I'm a Teamster, so I gotta show some love to my fellow, union people. Hey, what's up? Like I said before, for 5 years, I had to hear this stuff. Take what we give you. Take what we give you. Bud don't sell no tickets, which is a lie. He don't have no following. He don't have no fans. He don't have this. He don't have that. He on the wrong side of the street. All this kind of stuff. Actually, the wrong side of the street was made to basically protect the PBC fighters from, fighters with other promotional companies. But like I keep saying, they supposed to be the better pedigree of fighters. But like I said, in cross-promotional fights, they be getting whooped on. Yeah, Mike, I'm in the Teamster. So, yeah, I got to say what's up and send a shout out to my union people. So, I'm a Teamster. I've been a Teamster for over 20 years. So, so I got to show them some love. Hope it get resolved, too. So, once again, I just see a whole bunch of videos. Oh, man, Terrence Crawford need to be a man of his word. First of all, once again, go look at several interviews. Terrence Crawford said, even in the post-fight, he said it may be at 154. He did not say, oh, we definitely fight at 154. He said it's an option. If he wants to fight at 147, it's his prerogative. He the champ. And like I said, what is on the line at 154, like the homie Shot News said, what is on the line? What? It's just a money fight. It's just a rematch. It's just a rematch. It's just a money grab for Errol Spence. Because now you have to ask yourself, okay, so what's out there for Errol Spence now? What's out there for Errol Spence now? Because at the end of the day, Terrence Crawford ruined a master plan. He ruined that potential Errol Spence when he came to PBC the first time. This is facts, not facts. No, it's facts. This is factual that they offered him a package deal that included Errol Spence. Al didn't want to make this fight. Well, he don't have nothing to offer Terrence Crawford except another one-sided ass whooping. Did anybody see how Errol Spence looked after that fight? I mean, Errol Spence was falling and tumbling and stuff. I mean, all you got to do is look at the freeze frame pics online of Errol Spence laying on his ass. Like I said, he got knocked down 3 times, 2 in 1 round. He got pounded on. But somehow you have these idiots. And see, this is the thing with me. And like I said before, this is why I operate on my own. This is why I don't do no clicks and all that stuff. I was part of that kind of stuff. But then I saw people wasn't who they love for these brothers. But at the end of the day, man, I operate on my own, man. I'm my own entity and stuff. I've seen a lot of snakes. I've seen a lot of hijacking and stuff. I've seen a bunch of, dudes faking the funk. A bunch of like overblown, fake bodybuilding niggas, like thinking somebody's scared of them or something. Just laughable. Just snakes. And like I said before, just be careful, man. Cause I be careful, Bill. That's real talk. Yeah, I said it. Sure did. Once again, I ain't worried about nobody. I could promise you, I could promise you, come December the 9th in the Bay Area, that's my neck of the woods. I can promise you I'm gonna be good. I can promise you ain't nobody gonna pull up on me. Not no out of towner. I can promise you that. I got like 50 people on deck already asking me about tickets, saying, hey man, it's cool. Hey, we got you. It ain't gonna come to that. It ain't gonna come to that. But I do want it to be known. If you think I already know you ain't who you say you is anyway. But just for your sake, you better chill. And I ain't talking about EPMD neither. So I'm just saying, come, December the 9th, the Bay Area. I may be from Oakland, but San Francisco is just a BART ride away. I'm good everywhere in the Bay Area. I'm good at Frisco. I'm good in San Jose. I'm good. Hey, I'm good in Stockton, even though Stockton ain't really part of the Bay. I'm good in Sacramento. I'm just keeping it real. Just keeping it real. So, but nevertheless, listen, it's not going to make a difference because you have to think about the punch resistance. Errol Spence showed he didn't have no punch resistance. Well, yeah, if you're looking for a good snow bunny and an Asian woman, I do recommend you hang out in San Mateo, but that's on the other side of the bay. I do have to warn you, certain parts of that area and Tom Brady is from San Mateo and Barry Bonds, but they are still certain parts of San Mateo, that part of the Bay Area. If you walk in a certain neighborhood, they're going to call the police. They're going to be like, what is he doing over here? If they don't recognize you for being some kind of sports star or something, they're going to call the cops. But yeah, San Jose too. I mean, if you want a thick Mexican girl, you can go to San Jose and places like that. And if you want some good barbecue, you can go to downtown Oakland, go to Everett and Jones. Shout out to Dottie. That's one of the co-owners. I used to date Dottie. So hey, Tex Tech, I'm ready, bro. I'm excited about finally I get to host. Hopefully, Shadu and World Combat Sports can come out here because a lot of people want to see the Bay. I'm gonna take people to the Fruitvale station. I'm gonna take him where Oscar Grant, unfortunately met his demise. So, I'm gonna show him my old neighborhood, the Murder Dubs. Shout out to the Murder Dubs, East Oakland, baby, every day, all day. But yeah, so depending on how long you're gonna be here, if you looking for a thick Mexican girl, yeah, go to San Jose. You know what? I ain't even gonna lie. I don't even hang out in San Francisco like that because San Francisco is a tourist city. But all the black people really be in certain sections of San Francisco. San Francisco is a tourist city. All the black people really be in the Fillmore. They be in Hunters Point. They be in Lakeview. Some in Mission District. So like when I go to Frisco, I go to Hunters Point and hang out over there. I might do a video where I'm doing a stream from Potrero Hill. That's where OJ Simpson from. That's some projects in San Francisco. I might, I might see what's up. I'm definitely got something planned with Kareem Mayfield. We gonna see can we do a live remote from his dispensary. And by the way, Kareem Mayfield's dispensary is like a 5-minute drive from the Chase Center. So, who knows? But like I said, I got a lot of stuff planned. Looking forward to December the 9th. So whoever coming out, y'all let me know. Me, Big Rich, we trying to get ego. we trying to get ego. We trying to plan something. We might have like I wouldn't exactly say a meet and greet, but we may have a function. We looking for a location, a safe location. Oh yeah, by where the A's, yeah, that's the 6'9", that's the 6'9" and 6'5" village. That's where Yuckmouth from, and that was where Seagram was from. R.I.P. to the great Seagram Miller. Shout out to Seagram. Shout out to Yuckmouth. And that's the thing. If y'all coming through, y'all gotta let me know. But hey, text. I'm gonna drop my location if you in the area. We just trying to find somewhere safe. We thinking about VJ's in Alameda. That's a sports bar. We thinking about doing something there. It just really come down to who down. But we gonna try to put something together. Me, Big Rich, Boxing Ego. We'll see if the other dude, Lolo Boxing, want to be part of it. Some other people, the Cali Enigma. So we got some stuff planned though. So stay tuned. Well, Errol Spence don't move his head neither when he coming down the line and stuff. So I already knew that Terrence Crawford was going to exploit that, and he did. But the funny thing was, I did not think that Terrence Crawford was going to fight him southpaw the whole fight. I thought he was going to fight him orthodox and then switch up. But then he saw something at Errol Spence. He was like, okay, I'm gonna beat him at his own game. I'm gonna fight him southpaw, and I'm gonna be able to beat him at his own game. Crawford was able to see pretty much everything Errol Spence had coming. Now Errol Spence did land a couple of hard shots, but it didn't really phase Terrence Crawford. He did connect with an overhand left. It looked like it got Terrence Crawford attention, but you know how something can get your attention, but you not really hurt. And then basically Terrence Crawford came right back with his counters. Well, you know what? People was scared. People was always scared that Terrence Crawford was going to win this fight. They really didn't want this fight to happen. They basically was trying to talk themselves into believing that Terrence Crawford was going to lose this fight. I think in their self-conscious, they always knew that Errol Spence was going to lose. I just think it wasn't my stepdad in that fight, and we all surprised. I wasn't surprised at all. I thought it would be a competitive fight for the first, 4 or 5, maybe 6 rounds at best. But I just thought Bud was going to start pulling away, especially in the second half and it just started breaking Errol Spence down. And then just, Errol Spence run into something. coming forward. I thought Bud was going to catch him with a check hook that was going to drop Errol Spence going forward, and then he was going to be badly hurt, and then Bud was going to finish him off. But Bud did, you know what I'm saying, based on Bud did catch him with a lot of shots, and Bud was catching him with body shots. He was utilized. He just was faster. He beat Errol Spence to the punch on everything. And then he was slipping, and then he was blocking punches with his gloves, so where he couldn't feel the full brunt of Errol Spence's punches. And my thing was, I was laughing at the fact everybody was talking about, oh, he the eye snatcher and all this kind of stuff, and he the body snatcher. And I was trying to tell people, when people were sitting up there saying that Errol Spence was going to have this strength advantage over Terrence Crawford, and if you look at the stream that I did with Big Rich like last week, Terrence Crawford picked up a 300-pound man. Terrence Crawford is deceptively strong. He a championship caliber wrestler. Like I said, I knew all this stuff, and this is why I knew the fight was going to go the way I thought it would go. But as far as people crying and talking about Terrence Crawford owe it to Errol Spence, he don't owe Errol Spence shit. Either Errol Spence can take what Terrence Crawford offers him, like maybe people were saying years ago, hey, take the 80-20, take the 60-40, take the 75-25. This is what people were saying. So now that Terrence Crawford got the juice, now all of a sudden everybody trying to play this notion that Terrence Crawford is ducking. How you ducking somebody and you beat the hell out of them? Like I said before, nobody get the thing is with these niggas, they don't have no problem talking about what Terrence Crawford should be asking for or what he owes somebody and what he should do, but they never talk about Canelo's demands. They never talk about Triple G's demands. They never talk about Lomachenko's demands. Nobody had nothing to say on how Lomachenko pushed the Devin Haney fight back from February to May, and he thought that Devin Haney was going to be weak during Ramadan. Lomachenko allegedly got paid $3 million to Devin Haney's four. Now they saying Lomachenko made $3 million off that Devin Haney fight, which you can make an argument that he shouldn't have got that kind of money. But these is the same Negroes that's saying that Shakur Stevenson don't deserve that kind of money, and that's why I don't take these cornballs serious. At this point, has anybody really paid attention to what's been going on the last 5 years? It doesn't matter what Terrence Crawford do. They're going to find a way to discredit the man. They already discredit the man for the first fight. I mean, they already, Percy. I mean, at the end of the day, it don't matter whether they fight again. People going to make excuses anyway. This fight was all good until the contracts got signed and they had an official press conference launching the promotional tour for this fight up into the fight. But then when the bell rung, the first bell rung and the final bell rung, the wrong guy won. I knew people was going to make excuses. I knew people was going to sit up here and they already had an excuse in place because Errol Spence was hinting, oh, I can't make one. He was throwing that out there. Oh, I don't think I can make 147 anymore. So he was throwing that out there. He knew people would pick up on that and start pushing that narrative. You don't think these guys know what being said? That was his built-in excuse, and people rolled with it because at the end of the day, they wasn't so sure that Errol Spence was going to win that fight. And since the fight didn't happen, we didn't heard everything from Terrence Crawford. Had stack hand wraps, loaded gloves. He's on steroids. Somebody from Team Crawford put something in Errol Spence's water. It's just a long list of excuses to discredit Terrence Crawford. So what's going to be anything different? So if he fights him at 154 and he whoops on him, what's the excuse gonna be then? Don't y'all see this? Y'all been seeing this for years. They're not gonna give Terrence Crawford credit no matter what. Well, Errol Spence might have brain damage. He might already had that. Well, my thing is, everybody keep talking about this stuff about Errol Spence been in car accidents and all this. Bud got shot in the back of his damn head. He got shot in the back of his head. So there you have it. But Bud don't sit up there and use that as the excuse. And I'm telling you that right now, it doesn't matter what weight class they fight at. If it's at 147, 154, they're going to discredit Terrence Crawford no matter what, because they've been doing that for years. They did it with opponent selections. And it's funny. And like I said, I made a comparison of Terrence Crawford versus, ever since he went up to 147. Terrence Crawford's hardest fight was the Mean Machine. At the end of the day, now Danny Garcia talking about he want to fight and all this kind of stuff. Danny Garcia had several chances. Danny Garcia walked away from possibly $5 million to face Terrence Crawford. That includes $3 million up front and probably additional $1 to $2 million from pay-per-view revenue and the gate. Because the fight would have been at Madison Square Garden. They would have sold out Madison Square Garden, or at least had 16, 17, 18, 19,000 people, because New York has a huge Puerto Rican fan base. Shout out to the homie World Combat Sports. We all know Danny Garcia, if he would have took the deal, once again, they was going to fight at Madison Square Garden. So they would have had, like I said, 17, 18, 19,000 people. So Danny Garcia walked away from possibly a $5 million pay to take 1.2 to fight Adrian Granados. Now he hollering about he want to fight. I can't get out of here. You had your same thing with Keith Thurman. Everybody keep talking about, well, this version of Errol Spence would have got. Listen, it ain't no version. It ain't like, as World Combat Sports would say, it wasn't clone or nothing like that. It was Errol Spence. What happened was he ran into Bud, and that's all it came down to. It wasn't about that. What Errol Spence, to me, walking to the ring, Errol Spence looked like he was, like, I'm just gonna say it. He looked like he was fearful. I think he knew what was coming. Hey, what's up, man? Well, at the end of the day, it's up to Terrence Crawford. They already said that they may circle back to Boots. So keep in mind, y'all been wanting him to fight Boots so bad. So if he fights Boots and he beats Boots, I don't want to hear that neither. At the end of the day, if Errol Spence want a rematch, he got to fight me on my terms. I'm not accommodating him no more. I took less money. You were top billed. Now I'm the guy. I got the juice now. So now you gonna meet my demands. If you don't want to take the 147, we move on. And at the end of the day, you keep saying that you can't make 154. 154 is not gonna make no difference. You think your chin is gonna be even better at 154 than it was at 147? You got cracked, man. You got both of your eyes lumped up. You was bleeding out your ears. You was bleeding out your mouth, bleeding out your nose. And people keep talking about Errol Spence may be stronger. Well, Bud may be stronger. So then what? What happens if Bud goes up there and whoops on Errol Spence again? What is the excuse gonna be then? I know that's funny. I know that Ugas that fought Errol Spence did like to say. Well, that's what these dudes do. And Ugas, he would have got his ass whooped by, like I said, Terrence Crawford would have blew through Ugas in like 4 rounds. There's a reason why they wasn't trying to make those fights. Al Hain was like, we not putting you in the ring with this dude, because if we put you in the ring with this dude and he beats all of you, then it devalues our brand. It devalues the PBC moniker. So, like I said before, man, It don't matter what Bud do at. It don't matter what Bud do at 154 versus PBC fighters or 147. They gonna discredit the dude. So let me move on to the next subject. Um, First of all, I want to give props to Jermell Charlo. You guys know I've been very vocal about Charlos and how they treat in particularly black media and treat the fans. So for the people that thought I was exaggerating, Jermell came out and pretty much apologized to the fans and to the media for how he treated them, and I think that was a good and noble gesture. Now, hopefully he's true to his word and we see the change. I'm just going to share this with you guys. I got over it, but Jermell, he pissed me off one day. This was about I think this was back in 2019. And it was a fight that I did on a Sunday, and Jermell was fighting, and he knocked the dude out. And I was trying to interview. I got him to eventually, comply. I eventually got the interview with him. But man, when I was trying to talk to Jermell, man, he was rolling his eyes and stuff, and that really pissed me off. I almost said, man, fuck this dude, man. But I kept my composure because I was out there to do a job, and this is when I was working with Dante's Boxing Nation. This is before I branched out on my own. But yeah, I saw that in them. I saw them do that a lot. And at the end of the day, you still gonna have to address this thing with Jermell. Like Jermell, he been real humble and respectful towards Canelo. But then you look at his past, you look how he's conducting himself in pressers. Because going into his second fight with Tony Harrison, I was so embarrassed listening to that press conference where him and Tony Harrison were exchanging N-words in front of mixed company and stuff. It was just a terrible look. And it got to the point to where I think Kelly Swanson had to shut off dude's mic. But this has been a long-standing issue that a lot of people have with the Charlos, them being standoffish when it comes to the media, or should I say black media. Not wanting to talk to the brothers, but then, want to talk to the others. Yeah, sure. Well, I mean, I can tell you this much. One of the greatest heavyweight boxers that I ever saw in my era, or as I was growing up in the development into the, brother that I became eventually, I got to see Larry Holmes. I grew up watching Larry Holmes and stuff because Muhammad Ali was before my time. I remember watching Muhammad Ali with my father. I think when he fought Ernie Shavers. Man, I was young. I couldn't have been no more than 3 or something. Maybe, I don't know. But I remember the fight with Larry Holmes, watching that with my dad. So, growing up and starting to get my scruples together, I really grew into boxing watching Larry Holmes. So at the time, Larry Holmes was like that dude. And I know some people try to discredit Larry Holmes to say Larry Holmes didn't fight nobody, but that's not true. That's not true. So yeah, I'll do the video. I'll see, can I do it? Do it maybe tomorrow or something. But eventually I'll eventually get around to it. But yeah. So like I said before, I'm glad that Jermell has matured and he's, growing. As you can see, he said he got out of Houston because of the distractions and all that kind of stuff. So like I said, seeing this new refound Jermell Charlo, I hope he stays too, because I'm just keeping it a buck. Like I said before, man, they just were very difficult to deal with, and people have to understand, especially the boxers, and I say this on a regular basis, you can't come to an event And you know it's gonna be media there, it's gonna be credentialed media, it's gonna be uncredentialed media, it's gonna be fans there. And you can't sit up there, when they trying to enter, because my thing is don't bring your ass there. You already know it's a public outing. You already know people gonna want to take pictures. You already know people gonna want to do interviews with you. You know, that just come with the territory. But like I said before, that was one of the main issues I had with the Charlos and Jermell. You know, I'm gonna keep rehashing on what Jermell did. You know, when he threatened Blue Blood, I wasn't, you know, I had an issue with that. Talked about he gonna slap him. He was saying we was jealous. He was saying that black media was jealous of Ellie Setback. Jealous of what? What is there to be jealous of? You know, and then he sat up there. He took a swipe as a certain organization that I'm affiliated with, and then what pissed me off, and I'm just gonna say this, and I don't care if nobody, if any get attitude, get that. It's factual. Didn't say nothing. Didn't return fire. Didn't have no smoke for him. Said people was broke. He called us broke. He said we were jealous of Ellie Setback, and we ain't forgot that. Jermell, we ain't forgot what you said. And first of all, I'm gonna say this: ain't nobody jealous of no damn Ellie Setback. For what? I'm a black man. Okay, and Ellie Setback is Ellie Setback is a Caucasian Jewish man. And respect to Ellie Setback, because I ain't gonna lie, Ellie Setback, he helped me when I first started. Him, Sean with Fight Hype, a lot of people, some of the brothers. So when I was getting my foot in the door and basically trying to figure this stuff out, a lot of them dudes helped me. Him, even Marcos used to let me follow him around. All the people, Marcos, like I say, Sean with Fight Hype, Ellie, all them dudes. So I appreciate it. And then some of the brothers too, so a lot of them helped me, and that's how I became the reporter that I eventually became. So I give props to everybody, but I don't have no problem. Like I said, I'm not jealous of no Ellie Setback, man. But when I heard Jermell say that, I was like, this dude is really weak. He really weak for saying that. And then the people that he basically disrespected, they made themselves look weak and uncredible by not saying nothing and just, taking the high road. You don't take the high road when it comes to Terrence Crawford. You don't take the high road when it comes to Shakur Stevenson or Keyshawn Davis. But then that's what happens, when you have one fake ass dude that was like trying to act like, trying to hijack your shit. So, it is what it is. And some of the, but I'm glad that Jermell has grown. And hopefully we see this Jermell from now on. Because at the end of the day, you have to understand, you signed up for this. You signed up for this. When you a boxer and all that kind of stuff, you considered a celebrity. He's a champion. He's popular. So he's considered a celebrity. So he has to understand that people are going to want to talk to him. All this stuff, like ignoring people and turning your head and cussing people out and all that kind of stuff, not a good look. Because I done seen Jermell do that way too many times, thinking he intimidating people. And that's why I laughed, when Jermell was doing the interview with World Combat Sports. And when Scotty said, he said, man, I'll tell you if it was me. Because like I said before, Scotty is bigger than than Jermell Charlo. Like I said, Scotty, that's my homeboy. So like I said, subscribe to World Combat Sports. And I'm glad that he basically apologized to another black man. That's what made the interview golden. And that's why I played, audio from the interview. But like I said before, World Cup at sports is big as fuck. Like I said, it's like World Cup at sports is like 6'2", 6'3", like he buff, and you know what I'm saying? Like I said, he was in the military for over 20 years. And like I said, Scotty is highly trained. Like I said, when I say Scotty is highly trained in hand-to-hand combat and weapons and all that kind of stuff, like you just don't want that kind of smoke. I'm just keeping it a buck. So I'll just keep it. I'll just keep it in a buck. You know, I'll just keep it in a buck. But yeah, but like I said, I hope we see this growth and Jermell. Hopefully, depending on what happens September the 30th, we'll start to see it in Jermell. You know, that's just real talk. So before I end this stream, like I said before, I don't want y'all to be. I know some of y'all, or should I say a lot of y'all, mostly all of y'all are intelligent and you understand common sense. But when I heard that ridiculous story about why Frank Martin pulled out of the Shakur Stevenson fight, I was just shaking my head. I was like, you can't make this up. I'm like, you gotta make this up. Like, come on, man. So somebody on your behalf turned down the fight because of Derrick James. Well, here's the thing. If that's the case, like I said before, I would have found a new trainer. I would have said, well, somebody else can train me. As I said before, that doesn't make sense because you already knew what date and where the fight was going to happen. So how could you there say because of a scheduling conflict or training conflicts that Derrick James wasn't going to be part of the fight, and that's why you turned down a fight that was going to pay you $1 million? It's not a good look. And for these people that's sitting up here talking about Shakur Stevenson got this, he got that, and it's not, at the end of the day, Shakur Stevenson got a fight date. Frank Martin don't. And like I said before, Frank had a chance to fight in the full-scale, full-fledged arena. So it's back to the ballroom and conference rooms he goes. He couldn't even get put on Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford 1. So at the end of the day, hopefully for his sake, he get put on the rematch if there is a rematch. Hopefully. But like I said before, people, you have to understand, people think people on here are stupid. I'm not stupid. And when he said, oh, well, somebody on my behalf turned down the fight, that still make you look bad. Because you are the one that's supposed to be able to decide yay or nay. Now, first of all, at the end of the day, you still make the decisions. At the end of the day, Frank Martin still had the say so, the go ahead, because he the dude that got to sign the contract and get in the ring. So for him to sit up there about that, at the end of the day, if it was Al Heyman and whoever his handlers was, they made him look like a coward. They made him look weak. They made him look like a hypocrite because he was sitting up there saying that Shakur Stevenson need to get it through the mud and he need to, you know, get his Nipsey hustle on, get his grind on, you know, get his hustle on, hustle and motivate. Then he turned around and pull out of a fight 4 days after accepting a deal. At the end of the day, why didn't you just not even bother to negotiate? You were the one that said, I want all the smoke with Shakur Stevenson and all this stuff. You didn't have no problem telling Shakur what road he need to take to get to a fight with Devin Haney. But when it came your turn to put up or shut up, you decided to shut up. You can't talk your way out of this. You talked all that shit only to back out of the fight 4 days later. And then you got people trying to make excuse, trying to holler about and compare what happened with Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney, apples and oranges. So if Frank signed a power of attorney to where people could turn down fights on his behalf, then once again, that's on him. But my thing is, according to reports that Steve Fulton told Al Heyman he taking that fight with anyway, because it was $3 million. So You don't mean to tell me that Frank Martin couldn't have did the same thing? At the end of the day, the advisor is supposed to advise, but at the end of the day, the fighter's still supposed to have the final say. How many times have you heard these people talking about, from Errol Spence to Danny Garcia, all these other dudes saying, I ain't got no boss? You know, Terrence Crawford, he got to answer to somebody. Well, obviously they got to answer to somebody. They got to answer to Al Heyman. So there you have it. But anyway, appreciate y'all being here. I'm out.